Hi Leo, welcome to Yellow Cardinal Tarot with me. My name is Carole and this is going to be a general reading for you for 2026. And if you're coming back to my channel, I want to welcome you back and I hope that you subscribe because I know that there's a lot of you out there that are watching the videos but not necessarily subscribing. But it really helps my channel if you can press that subscribe button. And if you are just finding my channel now, I would love for you to comment below to let me know that you've just found me. Yeah, so I am struggling with what I was going to do for you for January and what reading I wanted to put out. I threw around a few ideas. I was ready to go. And we had this big snowstorm, a blizzard, about a week ago in Eastern Canada. And you know, it was a kind of storm that was that you just didn't go outside. You sat in, you know, hopefully if you had a fireplace, you'd sit by that. But it was just like you weren't going anywhere. It was, and I didn't anyway. But it was just so windy. And, you know, at times I felt like, oh my God, what's going to happen to my house? And then at one point, there was definitely something was ripping a piece of my house off out there. And I could feel it. My cat could hear it. And we were kind of just sitting there going, oh my God. So the next day, kind of forgot about it. And I looked out the bathroom window in the morning. And sure enough, I saw this thing sitting way at the back corner of my house. I have an acre property. So somehow, you know, I don't know, something ripped off my house and ended up way back there. I tried to, you know, I went into denial and tried to tell myself it was snow, but it was like, no, I know this is something because I heard it. So I went outside and I saw that I had a piece of my fascia ripped off my house, and I went, oh. So I said, you know, there's a reason, there's a message here. Whenever something like that happens, if it's random or there's always a message. And you know, if it had blown away to another neighbor and I didn't see it, I probably would have forgotten about it. But it was like, no, here's a message for you. You need to know this. So I'm a shamanic practitioner, and so I live in the world of shamanism, and everything is alive. And so I knew that I could take my rattles and go to it and connect with it and say, and I asked it, I said, what did you come off my house for? Why are you here? What message do you have for me? And so as I started rattling, I heard I couldn't stay there anymore. And it was like, all right, because I had been moving through some really tough energies and some really tough feelings and emotions around things, bringing closure to some things. And that was a message for me, is that you couldn't stay there anymore, Carole. You had to let things go. And excuse me. So I thought, after that, I thought, this is a really cool idea for my reading for January. There it is. And so I called it. I couldn't stay there anymore. That's my reading. And so what I want to know, Leo, is what situation have you been in for too long now? And that it's time to let it go as you go into 2026. It could be a relationship. It could be an addiction you need to let go of. It could be emotions. It could be inner child stuff. We'll find out what it is. And then we're going to look at, in part 2, we're going to look at what's blocking you from moving on. What's keeping you stuck? So it's what needs to be healed. And that's going to be something from your childhood or your adolescence. And then finally, I'm going to ask for some advice from the tarot as how you can begin to heal this. Right? This is a process. So we're going to look at how you can begin to heal it. I'm also going to leave you with a suggestion of a video or a playlist from my other channel called Carole Cares. And I'll suggest it at the end. If I forget to suggest it, it'll be there, because I'll remember when I'm putting the video together that I forgot this. I will also be pulling a spirit animal oracle card for you. And that'll give me another final little message for you. Yeah, so I actually work with power animals and in shamanism, and I have one power animal. It's like a guardian spirit that comes with me everywhere I go. I don't have to rattle to it or ask it to, or journey to it. It's just there when I ask it a question or I need some help. It's always there. And we all are born with that. You know, we call, in Christian religion, they call it the guardian angel, but it's a guardian spirit. And so I had another shamanic practitioner retrieve it for me, and so I can do that for you if you're interested in doing something like that. And I offer you a 15-minute free consultation. You don't even have to, you can decide whether you want to do it or not. We can talk about it, or if you want a healing. But there's a link below in my description box for shamanic healing. And also if you want a tarot reading as well, personal tarot reading, there's a link for that if you're interested in that. So let's begin with what situation has Leo been in for too long? What are you holding on to? Time to let this go, bring closure to it. One card for that. You have the Knight of Pentacles. I love the pentacles in this deck. These little gold things that shine. What's blocking you? Ooh, that one came out. The sun. The sun is blocking you. And advice from the tarot. One card. Four Pentacles in reverse. Okay, so let's begin with the Knight of Pentacles. So the Knights in my deck are what I call my freedom fighters. They're a part of us that wants to be free. And in particular, they're fighting for their authentic self. And they're like a teenager part that doesn't want anybody to control them. But in particular, the Knight of Pentacles has a pentacle, and the pentacle itself is our body. It's the earth element. It's the grounding element. And so, our body holds our truth. We can be up in our head, in our minds. That's not our truth up here. We have a tendency as humans to spin on certain things and to believe everything that we've been told from other people about who we really are. And we can spin on it in our heads. But our truth lies right here in the unconscious, in our shadow. That's where our truth is. And so the body holds our truth and holds all those big emotions that we don't want to touch. And so this is really it's really a card here of, there's a real part of you, I think, that needs to be loved like we do. Love like all of us wants to be loved. And it's so important, I think. And oftentimes we can, chase people because we want love. But unfortunately, what we need to realize is that the most critical part to get our own self-love, which is the most important thing, is to ground ourselves, is to get back into our body. And so this card is really saying, you're going to get freedom. Your freedom is going to come. It's going to start to come, because this is the part of us that's pulling. This is the part that wants the freedom. Your freedom is going to come when you get back into your body and you start to find out who you are. Who you are. So there's a real pull here for you to get back into your body, for you to find out who you are, to find out your authentic self. That's the pull right now. Right? And I think you're feeling it. I think you're feeling it. So let's look at some... this is the, I didn't say what, I'm using the Curious Travels deck. And right now I'm going to be clarifying with the Radiant Rider-Waite. And so let's look at the Knight of Pentacles. Tell me some more about this freedom and where that's coming from. You have the Seven of Swords and the Two of Wands, both of them in reverse. Boy, this tells me a lot, especially the Seven of Swords. I talked about how you want this freedom. I talked about how we can be in our minds and how we can really much believe what other people told us about ourselves. And so this reading seems to be already directed towards finding your truth and your authenticity and that pull. There's a pull here for you going into 2026. And the Seven of Swords talks about, this is called the Thief card. And it talks about this individual who is running away. Look how he's holding those swords. Very dangerous. Swords are our mental energy. They're their thoughts, their opinions, mental thoughts, mental opinions of what people told us when we were younger. And he's running away with them. It's like he's inherited all of these swords, these mental thoughts about who he is. And he's collected them all, right? He's running away with them. But it's very dangerous. And I think it's like it's time for you to look at what sort of things have you been telling yourself that aren't true. And it's in reverse here because it's like this is what's done you in. Is all those things that you've believed about yourself that are not true, that you've picked up all your life, maybe even in the schoolyard when kids told you things about yourself, or your, adolescent, or people in authority figures in your life told you things, whether they were relatives or aunts or uncles or parents, and they're not true, and yet you have collected all these swords and these thoughts, and that's what you think that you are right now. And the Two of Wands here is in an upright position. This talks about this individual that's looking out. He's got this small world in his hand, but he's looking out and he's looking, wow, this little small world I have in my hand is way out there. There's more out there for me. And so there's like this nudge, this direction, this new direction for you. This universe is pulling. The reason why this universe is pulling you towards your authenticity, because it's pulling you towards a true purpose, finding out who you are. But it's in reverse here because you can't hear it. I think you're so caught up in your head about, all these things that you think about yourself, that the fact that the idea itself that there could be a new direction for you, that there could be something else different for you than what you have right now, a different life for you. But I think you have already given into that, no, this is my life, this is it, this is all. It's not all. It's not it. There's something on your true self, who you really are, who you are meant to be, is waiting for you. But that's the situation you're in. The universe is saying, it's time now that you realize that this is not true, right? There's a pull here. And so I think you're being pulled towards this new direction. But what do you need to heal first? What's blocking you from answering, hearing this call? We have the sun here and you're in shadow, which is your true joy, right? I'm not talking about, the Hallmark card where you just put on this smiley face. And I have a real big issue with when you're told just to be happy and be positive. Well, you know what? There's a few swear words to add to that as well, because there was no way in hell that I could put on that smiley face. I tried it for all my life, got me nowhere, because there's a lot of pain under there. But the universe says there is some joy. Like, think of that pure joy from childhood. When you were a child, that was taken from you. It's buried here, right here in your unconscious. And the universe says at once, there was something here. I'm wondering if there was something here that brought you true joy when you were younger. Maybe you know what it is. Oftentimes we don't know because it was taken away from us. We were discouraged from doing it a lot of times. But there's something here in your shadow that is going to bring you joy that you knew when you were younger. It's like we all knew what we were meant to be or meant to do when we came into this world, but we don't always get it because we get sidetracked, you know? And I think that's what happened to you. But this little nudge right here is saying, let's go back to this. But we got to heal this, because when we, there could be some grieving here that maybe needs to happen when, because you were meant to do something and you didn't get to do it. But let's look at this. I need some more clarifiers. Sometimes I talk too much and then I don't get to it. What's really happening here? So you have, in a sideways position, you have the Knight of Cups sideways. Then you have the Three of Cups in reverse. And so you have 2 cup cards, which are all about our emotions. And so the first one is the Knight of Cups. So here's another knight. Here's the freedom, right? We talked about the freedom. So this one's different. It's not the pentacle, it's the cup. So it's about emotions. It's the cup of love. It's this knight carrying the cup of love. And cups, in particular, I talked about the knights being all about your authenticity. And so this is the cup carrying authentic love, authentic relationships. And so I think you lost. You weren't shown when you were younger authentic love, or what it meant to have authentic relationships in your life. And I can see here that, that would have brought you joy, because when you lose that when you're a child about not being loved, really, you weren't shown love when you were younger, well, of course you're going to lose the joy, right? And right behind it is this Three of Cups. And again, it's cups, it's feminine energy. The 3 represents like a creative card, co-creative card. And this is in reverse because in an upright position, this talks about celebrating your feminine side and your emotions and being in your body. And it's in reverse here because having emotions and being able to use your emotions was not something that you had. You weren't able, you didn't have access to your emotions when you were younger. You weren't allowed to show your emotions. You, especially the emotion of love, right? You weren't shown that. And so I can see here that why you picked up so many untrue opinions about you growing up. And of course they were all negative, right? It wasn't really you. And because this gives me a real picture of what needs healing. What needs healing is that inner child of yours that didn't get the love that they needed, that didn't learn about authentic relationships. I'm going to just pick one more card here that's going to help me out. Maybe give me more of an explanation of a bit more information on what happened here. What happened with Leo when they were younger? Why was this? Oh, what's 2? Oh, yeah. Yeah. Wow. Oh, okay. So this is really perfect. I talked about how the 7 of Swords here at the beginning, and these are all the mental thoughts that people told you about yourself and how it just did you in, and you continue to believe that. Well, here's your 10 of Swords for you in your shadow. Those are all the things people told you about yourself. Look what it did to you when you were younger. This is you when you were younger, right? So instead of, experiencing joy or authentic relationships, authentic love, this is what happened to you. You were told all these things about yourself that were not true, that were not you. And in particular, when you're told all these things, when you're not allowed to use your emotions as well, right? Very discouraged or maybe shamed for using your emotions. Well, this card speaks about, it's a 5 of Pentacles. This card speaks about these individuals walking by this place of worship and not even feeling worthy enough to walk in and ask for some help. They need help. They need warm, they need clothes, they need shoes, and they don't even feel worthy enough. And so there's a real unworthiness is coming through here. So rather than feeling love, you felt unloved. You felt unworthy. And that's what needs to heal. And unworthiness is very much the emotion of shame. You're carrying a lot of shame. And it makes sense because when you're told all your life that this is who you are, and people can really shame us because they tell us that we're not that person. Or we come out with emotions, or we come out as a kid, you do something and you think it's you and it's the right thing to do, and we're shamed and we're told, no, you can't do that. You're not allowed to do that. Or you're not big enough, you're not smart enough, you're not this. There's a lot of shame in there, right? You're not good enough. You're not good enough. And and it took the sun out of you. It took the joy out of you. And so what is the universe? What's the advice from the universe? What does it want you to focus on? This Four of Pentacles here is in reverse. In an upright position, this card speaks about it's called the Miser card. It's really a card of holding on to something. You know, it's really a card of feeling insecure, no confidence. And it's in reverse because it's really time now that you focus on that lack of, that feeling unworthy, that feeling of lack, of not being loved, not having enough, not getting enough. I'm not good enough. I'm hearing the word enough, not enough. I'm not enough, right? And a couple more cards. Advice from the Carole. Another Knight, wow. The Seven of Pentacles and the Knight of Pentacles. And so the Seven of Pentacles is talking about, you know, the word enough is going to come up again. The Seven of Pentacles is this individual that's been that's been hoeing all their life, you know, collecting all these pentacles. And he looks at it at the end of the day and says, is this it? Is this enough? And so the universe, the advice is, you know, let's get to a place where you say, I am enough. I'm enough. I am enough. You are enough. And that's where the universe wants to bring you. And that's, it's a big journey to get there. I had to get there. I'm enough. Just the way I am. And then you got the Knight of Pentacles. No shock. You start with it and you end with it. Here's the Knight of Pentacles, but this time, here you are where you're where you're being asked to get back into your body. I'm wondering too if sometimes with a Knight coming out, you can be maybe dealing with I mean, there's definitely going to be some shame. There's going to be some ungrounded anger here, that maybe you're somebody that gets angry at people and it's because you haven't grounded your anger. So you need to get back in your body and really maybe you can journal from that anger if you have some anger that you need to get at. Because, you know, you were told a lot of things that were not true and very unfair. And so you need to get angry at those people that called you all those things and told you all those things, right? Maybe you go in and out of depression because you feel like, what's the point? You know, why bother? And so I'm going to give you, I think what's really important here is, I'm going to leave you with a video that I've done on how to do shadow work. Because in that video, it has a lot on journaling, how to journal. It's just, and it has a lot on grounding. And whatever you think you need is important for you, whether you want to learn how to journal, if you want to learn how to ground. That video is going to tell you how to do shadow work and how to start, how I do it, and how to really start to get in touch with you until you can bring yourself to a place that says, I'm enough, right? I heard the word enough throughout the whole reading. I'm not kidding. Like, the word enough kept coming up where, this Four of Pentacles, I'm enough. The Seven of Pentacles is this it? Is this all? Is this enough? Is that all? Is this enough? So let's get a card for you, a spirit animal card. You have 2 here. I have 3. I don't want that. You have Stag Spirit. Take the lead. Whether or not you have set your intention to lead, you may have found yourself suddenly called to step up to the forefront of your life. Stag Spirit is a reminder that now is the time to heed the call to be sure, strong, and compassionate. Others will look to you, and you have it within you to see through the eyes of Stag Spirit and walk with confidence as you take on responsibilities. Be willing to see the best in others so that your compassionate heart keeps you on the right path. Stag Spirit wants you to know that your responsibilities now are to yourself too, for you are learning and developing new skills. And that's so true. This is a skill, to learn how to be enough and accept that I'm enough. So I want you to have compassion for yourself, Leo, for what you're working through. This is a very difficult journey, but it's the most important journey of your life. So take care, and I'll talk soon. Bye.